Good morning. Hope everybody had a great evening. So today's the big day, the big movie on TV, Impeachment Day. Hearing anyway, wondering how much is this going to affect the market, if whatsoever. But we'll see where things are. We go through our factory work every day. What's the trend? Where's support? Where's resistance? Has support or resistance been violated? If so, on what time frame? And what meaning does that have to us? So, yes, Strader has the right thing. Get some popcorn and your favorite beverage, and it'll be entertaining. Let's just hope we don't have another go nowhere day. So let's just get to it here. Start with SPX. And you can see we're just in this trading range. Nothing much is happening here. Just again, choppy range. It's a little bit higher than, over here. So, trading range, gap up, down, up, trading range, back and forth, that little peekaboo to new highs that got rejected yesterday. So far, for the most part, S&Ps are trading inside of last week's narrow range. So more momentum slowing, which is sometimes we call that winding the spring. As the ranges contract, eventually they're going to break one way or the other. So, we monitor that, and we apply what we call bar by bar analysis to see, are there red bars ignored at the bottom of the range, or green bars ignored at the top of the range? Are there breakout failures, breakdown failures? And as things eventually tighten up to some point, usually, okay, the news is out. Maybe, just guessing here, they signed the beginning entry of the China agreement. It's over, and the market sells off because sell the news. Or, whatever, the Impeachment Day turns into a circus and the market rallies and whatever. So we're just talking about uncertainty, and trading ranges are a picture of uncertainty. So as we look at patterns, we want to understand, what is that pattern communicating to me, right, in the time frame that I'm looking at. So we get the same message here in multiple time frames, in that uptrend, uptrend, uptrend. Well, this is kind of becoming a sideways trend on the hourly, but 2 days of, or 2 weeks, I should say, the week isn't over, of narrow ranges inside of each other, sideways chop here, sideways chop. That is a picture of uncertainty, which means I'm running in place. I'm not sure whether it's going to continue to go up, or whether something else is going to happen. And so you have a choice: be nimble, trying to trade within the narrow range, or sit on the sidelines, or go look somewhere else for what's moving. Right? You don't have to kind of bang your head against the wall trying to trade something that is not moving very much, when there's easier places to go and trade. And pretty much across the board, similar pictures, right? So here we've got a trading range for the diamonds. Right, so we'll just make that red so it's official. So we got a little trading range going on up there. So it's this little cluster. You can see the gap down right there and the rally. So we got a wider range green bar. Prices are still in the upper part of it. That's bullish. We've got a topping tail there. So that price area was rejected, but no damage done whatsoever. So this becomes an important line in the sand. It's not a pivot, right? Pivot low, which requires to have 3 higher lows to the left and right. We don't have that yet. So it's not defined as a pivot, but it doesn't mean it's not a reference point of some significance because of the gap reversal. And it is a pivot on the hourly time frame. So as long as prices stay up here, have a bullish bias that they're going higher. If they break down below this low, it opens up the door to heat down here, unfilled gap, maybe worse. But a break of that reference point will be a break of support of some significance. So see, keep an eye, set an alert there. Simple. In between here and there, just run it in place. You can see it's at 276.50. right in the middle of nowhere. Spiders, similar story. We're at 308.10, a little bit lower. So a little bottom of this little range there. And we got these other little pokes down here. The little gonna put on this chart. Oh, you guys are talking about SPX. Okay. Yeah. So what we're talking about in the green room, those of you on YouTube, is credit spreads or possibly even an Iron Condor on the SPX that will expire today. So we shall see. All right. There's basically your reference points that you just want to see it trading in between. And that is an ideal strategy in this kind of a market where there's uncertainty and a lot of chop. For those of you on YouTube, get a travel to the green room, get in here and learn how to do it. Qs broke out, new all-time high, came back in, no big deal. Can it break below a prior day's low? Well, that's yet to be seen. So as a starting point on the daily time frame, we look at can it break a prior day's low? And we saw it break below a prior day's low here on a gap and ended positively. Broke a prior day's low, bottoming tail bar. Broke a prior day's low, bottoming tail bar, and so on. So this bar by bar analysis is a very powerful concept to force you to be in alignment with what's happening in the market. So you may be thinking, oh, the market's gone up too high. Maybe it has, but should you short it? Well, if you apply the method and what I'm talking about, you're going to be saying, no, that would be silly. Trend is up, and every time it dips a minor amount, buyers step up again. So wait until it violates some support. If you have a bearish bias right now, everything is suggesting strength, even though it's not getting very far, as you could see. Okay, whatever. Dan's telling me something. All right. And so you guys hear some noise. He's cutting up some bodies there from Halloween that he didn't get to before, that he captured those little kids and stuff. Let's look at the S&Ps. It's a joke, of course. So S&Ps, that little peekaboo breakout failure there, right? And so we're stalled. We've got a little bit of a pullback here. We just continue to be in no man's land here as far as the markets go. As you know, I'm not sure, I'm hopeful that it's helpful going through this process that we go through every morning. And, I'd like things to change so we could talk about something different, but repetition is a great thing to go through this process over and over again, and how you have to have the discipline to continue the process as we have, even though nothing's happening here, if you're going to be ready for when something does happen. So we've got a peekaboo new high, not a big deal unless it really breaks down below this level here, because any poke to the downside has been bought. So as you can see, even this little poke right here, buyers stepped up. So, maybe they're trading for little tiny amounts. I mean, this is a very liquid contract, so you could do size in a situation like that and get out and profit from it. But in any event, you can see the buyers are there on the dip. Maybe this is the start of trouble. We'll see. And Qs, similar thing, but strength, sideways, uncertainty, back and forth. It'll be interesting to see where these markets are at by Friday afternoon. If we get this little doji kind of bar, or the next 3 days, market goes nowhere, well, then a break of that prior week's low will be a break of some significance within this uptrend. So something we'll be watching for. Right now, you can see they're grinding higher toward this resistance area right there. Right? So they've been able to regain this breakdown bar, the wide range breakdown bar, into support. And now we'll see, can it get back to the higher part of the range, which again, no big deal if it can. just running in place. Dow chopping around up at the top of the wide range bar there. See the buying on the dip, the rejection on a little blip up. This is frog in a blender pattern, right? Unless you're nimble, all right? You got a profit, it's of God, right? One way or another. So, and Russell, this is where there could be opportunity, folks. Shorting this contract. It has the greatest potential. Now, we always look for other markets to be in sync. So maybe this is going to lead the way down. We'll see if the others rally back up to the highs. They'll probably drag this back with it. But just technically speaking, this is the one with the greatest opportunity because it broke the trading range. Topping tail, topping tail, topping tail. The buyers tried and now it's broken. So it comes up here, look for it to roll back over. This would be the one with the opportunity because it has a void below. Oil, kind of just dead in the water here. All right, trading range, here it goes, clear as day on the hourly time frame. Weekly looks like it's a coin flip. If it breaks here, maybe down. So more uncertainty to deal with. Bonds are up, which we talked about yesterday. If they could get going against this downtrend on the daily, that could put some pressure on equities. So now they're having a pretty decent morning here. Right? They broke that little level, but makes me a few things. Could it be a 1, 2, 3 continuation lower, which lower to where, right? Isn't that far away, but could this be the beginning? Right? Look at the hourly chart of negating that red bar. And if this continues to move up toward this high, which is already established that it's trying to do, right? You can see the topping tail being ignored there. If it can negate this red bar, I think we're going to see more pressure on equities. Something to keep in mind. If you don't have these futures, TLT moves up with this, TBT goes down. That's interest rates. And as equities weaken, the buyers will reemerge to some degree in gold. So this could be if we see the S&Ps, the Russell, whatever, starting to drop, this could be a good long opportunity intraday trading gold futures. So they're stuck here at resistance, but they got up to the resistance. Notice the bottoming tail bar when it broke lower. It's a tell. And now they're up at resistance. So if they can get through here, counter trend trade sets up. So consider that. Silver, right? Similar story. I think, either one probably going to work. And lastly, look at the transports as we always do. Similar story. Got the bottoming tail bar. Not much to go on there. Russell's going to be more or less the same. And you can see it's down. The futures are down there. And 918, all yours, Dan.
All right. Hey, folks. Yeah, I'll do my best here. They're drilling in the wall here. Nothing I can do about it. All our opens look fine. Hey, Robert, your drop down, please. I'm looking at LDOS here because McGraw sent me somebody's letter yesterday saying they bought that as a breakaway gap breakout. I'm like, what are you looking at? Up 4 bars? There's no breakaway gap there. And overbought internals? That's a stupid ad. Our Google call spread is down $4. I already tightened stuff yesterday. I'm just glancing at any other opens. Oh, our VIPs is not. Oh, that has a bearish gap down. That's not good. It looked fantastic as an ad over yesterday's high. Our Nike is flat. Greg, you tell me. You want to listen to this stuff? I do want to just tight.
Your mic was breaking up. I don't, whatever.
All right, they gave me a break here. Tesla, we did a beautiful put spread on this. That's a buy setup and 50%, 355. Nothing to do with it though. DXC is not really a gapper, but I look, this is perfect actually. Look, it's down 51 cents. This was my favorite gapping trade yesterday. If we get a 1, 2, 3, it still has room to 38 or so. Yeah, we were looking at Greg's coffee shop here, 2130. It's gapping to resistance, but if we get a 15-minute buy setup, maybe. I have it here in a middle window. McDonald's. Greg was talking about this in coaching last night, being a short here. So that's why that's there. SSYS down to 19. That's a bearish gap. 30-minute low. Let's keep an eye on that. The goose was up this morning. Yeah, I saw it up nicely. I saw it at the gym on the ticker. And I said, oh, let me go look at the goose when I get home. But that wouldn't have been a good gap trade anyway. YY. This is, the gap's too big, but if it were gapping just in the low 66s, this has room to 70 and change, 70 to 75. Let's keep an eye on that. Oh, Tilray was this earnings? I know Tilray was this week along with some of the other marijuana stocks. No pattern though. SWKS 9550, bearish gap, extended daily weekly. This, I'll keep an eye on this for a bear call credit spread. Riot, that's a nasty downtrend, you're gone. Hua, 25 and change. Now this would be a tier 1 gap if it were gapping a little higher, like 25.60. But if it can hold and take out yesterday's high, it has room 26.5 to 27. This is not earnings, but it's been on my watch list here. I like this bottoming tail retest, wide range, deep into resistance, gapping up and going sideways, target this prior high. So with the market down, if this can get over these 2 bars high, that's your entry. Stop under, what's today, Wednesday, stop under Monday's low. So that's interesting. FISV, nice, look at this. Hey, McGraw, are you listening? This is a breakaway gap, McGraw. Look, it's gapping out of this trading range, and it only had 1 green bar, not 5. That was a nice gapper, and now it's 3 inside bars. If it can take out yesterday's high, that's a go for a long. That looks great. I'm gonna put that over here. Looks great. SMG is a 1, 2, 3 over the high. That looks great. Target 108 to 110. All right, so these look great. I posted yesterday ADP over the high. So yesterday's low. OLED. We were watching that yesterday, closed with a topping tail. If it can hold this level and you know, maybe give us a retest on a 15, then I like it. And Gulf Hotel over yesterday's high could be a swing trade. TWOW. Oh, this was an earnings put spread we did. And we sold the 20, 17.5, which is $2.5 wide for 50 cents. So that's tremendous juice. And you know, we purposely held it in earnings. So we will be looking either to try to close it out at pennies or just let it expire worthless. This looks great. 1, 2, 3, close engulfing bar, WCQ. And I like the fact that the market's down, because then these bullish setups are only going to trigger if they're bullish. Clorox here, beautiful short setup. That looks great. So I'll keep an eye on that. MR. One of you mentioned that in the trading room yesterday. Look at this huge, huge double bottom on the weekly. Bullish gap here, bullish gap here. The only thing I don't like, it's far from the 20, but it looks good. What are you laughing at, G? Yeah, I like IWM short, definitely. Yep. Nice wide range, igniting. 157. Absolutely. It's gapping under this low. That looks great. Yeah, David, there's a work going on here, so yeah, just bear with me for a couple minutes. I'm getting an escape route installed. We have Abbott, yeah, safe from Abbott. I don't like the way this trades. ESMT over the high. That's, look at that, all-time highs. That looks great over yesterday's high. Looks great. Adobe, I was watching for a foot spread that's closed with a topping tail. ABMV's been strong. We're far from the 20. TTD, I'm watching on a pullback here. DXC, yeah, I mentioned this already. overstock that was yesterday. That poor thing looks much lower. Wow, look at this. Solid. Now, some of you might say, oh, is this a good bottoming pattern? The answer is no. You got declining 20, 50, red bars. You can't, look, every time it tried to break out, it got slammed. It had earnings yesterday, but, otherwise, that was very bearish. eBay looks lower, sure. There's air on the daily weekly, sure. I am short G. Yeah, no, you're short eBay. Got it. A cat. Yeah, our deer